It's Riff Arcade. I'm Josh. He's Butts. We're joined with Spence Bailey of Riff Arcade fame once again, playing Turtles in Time. So, I just now realized Butts switched to Michelangelo.
Yeah, it was like continue, and it's whatever. I'll do it. This one's for Spence.
So between episodes, yes. Between episodes, Spence and Butts introduced me to Frank Zappa's Father Oblivion.
Absolutely,
and I learned about,
we did.
I learned about Father Oblivion's pancakes. They were light and fluffy brown, and I believe they were the finest in the town.
They most certainly were. We have eyewitnesses. I don't know who they are, but I know they're out there.
So, speaking of the Ron Johnsons, being in a band that basically follows the career of Spinal Tap and Flight of the Conchords combined, we have some good stories to tell. So, one I would like to share.
All right.
The one I would like to share today with you lovely folks at home is the story of some interesting banter I chose. Between songs at one of our shows. Basically, Spence remembers.
Okay.
So basically, I sort of ended up becoming the mouthpiece for the band because we were basically like, okay, well, we need someone to kind of front and say stuff to the crowd. So I was like, Butts, you want to do it? Nah. Spence, you're the guitarist. You want to do it? Nah. Austin? All right, I'll do it. So, I sort of became the impromptu banterman for Riff Arcade, and that, I wasn't the best at it, but I was the one that was willing, so it got really interesting. And so one such case was, we actually got a gig at the Mall of Georgia. That was Butts' pull. He got us a gig out at the outdoor amphitheater at the Mall of Georgia for like 300 people. It was incredible. And, so I wanted to, we wanted to be professionals, so I tried to go ahead and think of some upfront banter. Like, let me go ahead and try to think of some stuff. And one of these songs we played was Pink Floyd. Was that when we did Money? We did several songs from Dark Side of the Moon, so it was either Money or Brain Damage. It was one of those. And so I said, oh, I know, Dark Side of the Moon is the third greatest selling album of all time. So I'll basically kind of do sort of what we do in Riff Arcade. We entertain while being informative. So I was like, I'll tell everyone about the top 3 albums in the world. I'll go and get this. Boop. Big Bob and Rocksteady. And so I said, okay, I'll say, so ladies and gents, the top 3 albums in the world are Michael Jackson's Thriller. Number 2 is the Eagles' Greatest Hits. And number 3 is Dark Side of the Moon. So here's the song. Wow, we both got wrecked. So here's the song from Dark Side of the Moon. And so this was like 2 or 3 months before this gig that I came up with this idea. And so 2 or 3 months passed. The day of the gig is here. I start the gig, or I start the banter. And I say, so, you all might not know this, but the number 1 best-selling album in the world is Michael Jackson's Thriller. Now, the thing I have neglected to inform you folks at home is that this was the week after Michael Jackson died. And I had not yet re-evaluated my banter for this fact. So as soon as the words Michael Jackson's Thriller leave my mouth, this outdoor crowd of 300 people erupt into applause. I mean, screaming at the top of their lungs. They all start yelling songs they want to hear from the Thriller album. The Ron Johnsons have no Michael Jackson songs prepared. As a band, we knew zero Michael Jackson songs.
Not
so.
Perhaps that was our mistake, but
Yeah, so I basically deer in headlights the crowd slowly dies down, and I slowly, sheepishly say, the number 2 best-selling album of all time is The Eagles' Greatest Hits, and the number 3 best-selling album of all time is Dark Side of the Moon. Here's money, or something to that extent. And then we just... I mean,
Sorry,
I like to think
fellas. No Thriller for you.
Yeah, I like to think we won the crowd back, but... Oh.
It took a while.
That's it. And I went home and had to think about that for the rest of my life. So there.
And he still does.
Well, like, Spence, I don't know if I've told you this, but like I saw it coming and I had no idea Josh was doing this. He was just like, all right, well, we want to let you know that the number 1 selling album of all time is Michael Jackson's and I instantly knew. I was like, no, Josh, don't do this. No. And I'm trying to like yell at you without getting the crowd's attention and like, should I throw a drumstick? Should I get up? Because I knew he was going to say that fact and the crowd was going to instantly request that. And it happened. And I just sat there seeing this train about to hit this car on the tracks and could do nothing about it.
Well, I know now.
Yeah.
It was funny. I was like, no, okay. I'll buy him a pizza later or something.
Pizza time.
Yeah.
That's right.
If only we had time travel then.
I know, right? To go back and
Oh,
stop
Christ, tell me
that
about it.
horrible, horrible mistake.
Butts just tackles me off stage.
Yes. Thanks, mysterious stranger. Who's the bad guy for this one? I forgot.
I don't want to spoil the surprise. But,
Michael Jackson. Okay.
yeah, coming back to this game. Hey, I'm the boss. Hello. Yeah, circling back around to the game at hand. Yeah, I would love to say this game is a blast from my childhood. And I did play it as a kid. You know, I got it when I was a kid. But the truth is, me and Butts and Spence have never stopped playing this game together our entire lives.
True.
Like I say, once a year at least. Oh yeah, go ahead.
I don't think I've ever played this game by myself
Oh yeah?
for more than like
absolutely.
2 minutes.
We got barely.
I think I've tried maybe like 2 or 3 times to play by myself and just quit after the first level.
Yeah, I always, anytime like Butts or Spence or somebody comes over, like this game goes in the Super Nintendo.
Like I just moonwalk-
Fresh turtles for lunch. That's right, it's
Woody
Leatherhead, the slightly stereotypical Cajun alligator.
Who knows how to moonwalk somehow?
Going back to Michael Jackson. Yep.
Yeah. He always reminded me of Justin. Always forget his name, but the Cajun chef from PBS.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah,
Frank.
Frank Justin. No, it's
I don't know.
Frank.
I'll look it up between episodes. Huh? He's like, I'm gonna eat this Cajun food, I guarantee. Ha ha ha.
I'm back.
Do a barrel roll.
Who's dropping the barrels? Yeah.
Me.
Shudder.
I'm
Oh,
dropping
Butts,
the
grab the
barrels.
pizza.
Well, please stop.
Get the pizza, Butts.
Ah!
We didn't need those points anyway. Cowbunga. All right, now we're gonna skip from 1885. There's a pretty big jump here. You guys will see in a second.
Not as big as the first jump of 1980s to 25 million
point.
years ago.
Ladies and gentlemen, I give you 80-20-20.
Man, if only.
Everything's on fire. Why is everything on fire?
I don't know. If you look at it, I actually think I saw one of these in the parking lot the other day. One of these little hoverboards. And
Oh,
if
yeah,
you
the
really
hoverboard.
think about it, you see the gaps in the road? Like,
I do.
there's so many potholes and stuff in all of our roads systems across America. Like, this actually, if you think about it, except for the guys in the crazy costumes, this is actually pretty close. I think.
Actually, even the
And
guys in the
people
crazy
throwing
costumes.
bombs off the thing. I mean, that's pretty close.
Ha! This is becoming more of a self-fulfilling prophecy. The more layers we peel away.
It's a metaphor, yeah.
Yep. Getting
mean,
electrocuted.
My God, you just ruined your car right there. Bam! You just ruined the rear suspension of your car. It's like,
Man.
Oh, bullcrap. Oh, bullcrap game.
Yep. But that's it. This is the distant year of 2020, which is hilarious in retrospect. I love it when video games and movies do that. Like, when they always set their dystopia or utopia in like the future that's only 20 years from when the movie was made. Because then
Okay,
they
now
just
that
know.
part.
They just know they've got to own up to that when in 20 years when they're proven wrong in every way.
I was proven wrong with the guys in the helicopter and the miniguns right there.
Yeah, we don't have that.
We don't have
Those-
that, and we don't have
those are
that
pretty
guy.
rad.
That guy,
Well,
Oh, thank God.
the brain in someone's like chest cavity. We don't have that.
Yeah. Krang.
turtles. I'm Krang from Dimension X. That's a terrible impression. I'm gonna stop that right now. Okay, fucking kick.
It's fine.
Ow.
Just claps. Clapping back at us.
Yep. Well, guys, 2020 is still young.
Ah. Yeah, we could have a giant brain stomach guy running around shooting missiles.
We'll see where we are. Much in the way, it's silly to set things in the too near of the future. I'll be happy to watch this episode in 2021 and see how much we got wrong and right.
Assuming you're not crying yourself to sleep in 2021.
Fair point.
God.
It's like, you remember when, at the end of 2020, when Mr. Clean just went nuts and killed everybody? Yeah.
Yep. Make your predictions now. Let us know in the comments below.
Clean rules all.
There we
All will
go.
be clean. Yeah, there it is.
I, your overlord, Mr. Clean.
He eliminates the letter C from the English language. Everything is just K.
Yeah. Clean.
Clean. At first, when before you set it up with the K, I thought you meant like, oh, so he's just Mr. Lean now?
But he's also lean.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't want to
And
fight this guy.
mean.
Mr. Clean,
are-
sponsor us on the next episode of Riff Arcade 80-2100, where no turtle has gone before.
Brought
See
to you
then,
by Mr.
folks.
Clean.
Are we done?
Yes.
Oh, God. Okay, well, keyboards go.